What's going on, guys? Let's talk about Grohak the Bloodied. What is the deal? He just got buffed. I'm going to be showing you some test server footage of this guy. Let's figure out where he's good, where he's bad. Did this change anything at all? That's what we have to find out. Don't forget, if you enjoy this content, like, subscribe, and let's dive right into it. Alright guys, so here he is, the magnificent looking Grohak the Bloodied. Before any of these buffs happened, he was known as the Faction War Specialist. Not as important anymore since Faction War's been nerfed so many times. However, he got a few really good changes, so I want to see how viable he is outside of Faction Wars. And hopefully if you guys have him, he's in the vault, or you invested in him early and he lost a ton of value, maybe you can still use him. He has a really strong aura here, ally speed in dungeon, so that's something to consider for sure. Now he has this interesting fills the turn meter by 20% for each critical hit on all enemies, since it is an AoE. So this is really cool here. The more enemies he hits, the lower the cooldown is. So that's the good news here. I want to see how we can use this to our advantage. So the first thing I did was I said, okay, let's just try him in arena. Everyone could use a solid arena nuker if they don't have one already. So let's see how viable this champion is. All right, let's head straight to the Platinum Arena on the test server. Who are we gonna hit? Who are we gonna test? We probably want a tanky team. I would assume we want to hit this team. Duchess Grohak is this affinity, being blue, which is strong against Duchess. So how well is this gonna work? I guess we're gonna find out right here. All right, so starting off the fight, of course, you know what, let's just make sure we're not getting frozen. Although we do have the luxury of, I did gear everyone in immunity gear in case we face some hegemon teams. See if he's really strong to use this A1 ability. So you know what, let's just, I'm just kidding. We're gonna turn meter boost everybody to make sure we're getting a turn. Go to sleep, my friends. Resist, didn't strip that shield, unfortunate. Let's put that defense down on. Okay, so two champions were slept, woke up. This is why I have Grohak a bit slower. This is how you should build every single team with the current reaction meta. So two very strong champions, likely they have reaction on. That reaction proc is now gone and useless. So let's go ahead and use our sleep here. Go to sleep, sir. Okay, it didn't work. Now we are going to use our AoE and see what this does. Actually, are we gonna AoE and risk waking up these two monstrous damage dealers? No. Okay, crisis averted. Let's go ahead, use this A3 against Duchess. Okay, easy one shot. We got resisted. It's really hard to build accuracy on a champion like Grohak for this exact reason here. Let's reduce the cooldown. These guys are still asleep. Man, feels bad. You know what, we have defense down on everybody. It is going to run off of Warlord, however I don't want him getting a turn, so let's go ahead, reduce his turn meter here, place that fear. We can either try to out turn meter speed this or sleep him. You know what, let's just go ahead, do this, boost our turn meter. He got the fear, very lucky. Let's go ahead and use this AoE now. Alright, we didn't kill Mountain King. He is weak affinity, tons of health, not that surprised there. And this isn't going to be the optimal use of Grohak. However, you can still use him. That's kind of the point I'm trying to relay here. What you would want to do is AoE first with Grohak and then use Lord of War, stealing Duchess's turn meter, or just slapping him with a really hard single target ability since you are strong affinity. Let's go ahead and use this on Warlord here. 40,000 decrease turn meter, easy money. We can just put this 2 times in auto now. This is pretty much game, set, match. There's that A1 ability doing decent damage as well, considering he is in immunity gear, and of course we're facing platinum quality teams, so you could just expect high quality gear anyways. So now that we did that fight, let's try to find another tanky team. Of course, any non-tanky team we do face, it's quite obvious Grohak's going to be able to one-shot all of them regardless of the fact. So we do want to find some tanky offenses here. Alright, so let's go ahead and fight this guy here, a bit tanky. Let's see what happens and see if we can pull this off here. Now, this is definitely a suboptimal team to be running in this situation here. Let's go right on ahead, and what's the first course of action? We have immunity gear. We went over this before. Let's try and sleep Duchess. Okay, that worked. We did get a counterattack off. Now let's try to sleep everybody. Didn't work on Candy. Okay, unfortunately we did get one shot there. That kind of sucks, but let's pray for no freeze. We did get no freeze, that's the good news. Defense down. I don't think I can kill a Duchess with this. I really don't, even though she's 52. Oh, well, it would have worked if she didn't have Swift Parry. Not too bad, not too bad. Now we just have to survive, and this is what I like about him, and this is a key point here. He got his turn so quickly because of this new addition to his buff, where it fills his turn meter per critical hit. He got tons of crits, and his turn meter boosted up, giving him a lot more value. Not as much like a Kaimar, because it doesn't reset his cooldown. However, this is still really strong, and he's going to be able to one-shot Duchess, but he's also going to be able to one-shot Duchess with the A1, granted at least one of them hit her. Okay, that did work. I'm not sure if the Veil buff has anything to do with that or not. Let's try to strip these buffs. We have a True Fear here, that's very good. We have a cracked out Sifi that just crit for a lot of damage, so that's good. Another kill for Sifi, all in a day's work. Let's do a little bit of this. Now the AoE should be back up. Let's go ahead and use it. We only got one crit, so not too much there in the crit department. Hopefully we don't get soloed by Candy. Thankfully the AI wasn't properly set up on this champion. If it was, the A2 would have been low priority, and it would have been, or turned off completely if not low priority, and he would be focusing solely on the A1s, and he would have wiped me for sure. With that being said, let's go ahead and bring up Kaimar here just to be safe. He got frozen, not a big deal. Okay, that was kind of a big deal, getting provoked there. So hopefully we don't die. Okay, Kaimar was completely useless. What a mistake that was. And somehow my Madame Saris is still alive. And this is looking like a failed run, although I did show you guys what I wanted to show you guys. Realistically, you wouldn't bring a Kaimar in this team. He's blue affinity. Their only real threat is Kanjafin. As you can see, he pretty much one-shot the whole team there. So this isn't what you would want to do. You would use almost anyone else besides Kaimar in this situation, because resetting the cooldowns isn't as big of a deal when you are fighting somebody with the Grohak, since he's getting his own turn meter boost out of it. Alright, now we have another team here. Pretty interesting, a tank team. Looks like they have a ton of resistance, so Grohak's only use here is going to be to deal damage. That's literally it, only dealing damage. We're gonna hope we have enough accuracy to make this work, so let's just hope for the best and get right into it. Okay, their turn meter is rather low, so let's turn meter boost ourselves. Let's strip what we can. Resisted on two of the champions here. Let's go for this again. Resisted again there. Very interesting. So what I do want to do is try to one-shot this chick. Okay, we have a lot of revives coming in here, so let's no sleep there. Boosted turn meter, heal. Reset the cooldown. Let's try to re-strip our opponents here. Turn meter boost. Madame Saris goes easy. Okay, so we pretty much cannot touch this Raglan here. All of the reaction gear is going to be off since they were slept and all got a turn. So we can use this hard-hitting AoE here. We're going to force Raglan's revive here. So all we want to do is put as much damage as possible. The main threat's going to be Ragni here, so that's why we chose to attack him first. Now let's try to one-shot her. Easy one-shot, not even worried. We could go for the strip here. It's not going to happen. The fear is nice. Let's try to sleep Krisk. Perfect. Although the poison could be an issue. Go for the double sleep. Resisted once again. Not surprised at all. Let's go and revive this fella. A1 there. Resisted again. So she's even resisting my Madame Saris, which is kind of crazy. Now we're going to AoE A1. Let's go for some damage so Raglan has more targets to revive. We get a nice counterattack turn meter boost there. Really good synergy team, I have to admit. This is a really cool offense here. Some decent damage there. I'm going to have to revive my Grohak because that's the only damage dealer I decided to bring. Usually against a team like this, once again, Kaimar is probably not ideal here since Kaimar has to be fast, and even my debuffer cannot touch the full resist Raglan here. Let's go ahead, revive. Hopefully we get a turn. Aim for the sleep. Okay, only the sleep on Bragni mattered. Now let's go for the AoE. Game, set, match. So even though I'm testing this against teams in the platinum tier right now, and I'm going to show you the gear I do have on him is very, very endgame. However, you would need endgame gear if you wanted to test in platinum. This is to kind of show you where he stands against the current meta champions, being Krisk, Brogni, Tormin, Duchess, all of those teams there. So what we're trying to figure out is, can it be done? The answer is quite clear that yes, it can be done. With Grohak, he hits decently hard. I have really good stats on him, like I said. 5.8 thousand attack, 276 crit damage here. He's not going to have the typical role as an AoE nuker here because of everything he brings with this A3 ability. And it looks like I don't even have this champion fully booked here. I probably should have noticed that before. So he was losing 10% damage and -1 cooldown on that hard-hitting A3 that we just saw one-shot many platinum quality teams and champions in those teams, including Duchess here. So that is the good news for Lord of War on this A3 ability. Now outside of Arena, since we got that out of the way, I might as well just show you his Masteries here. We have the pretty typical one-shot build. However, instead of defense tree, I elected to go with the support tree because he does have this crucial steals the target's turn meter, which is very strong. So building accuracy as well as damage, 100% crit rate, decent speed. We don't really care about this too much because he gains so much here by A, stealing the target's turn meter, and B, this A2 synergy filling his turn meter by 20% per enemy. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8 if he's fighting in arena, and 100% turn meter if he's fighting in dungeons. So really quickly, I'm going to go to a dungeon. That's a smart affinity for this guy. I don't think it's going to be here. No, so let's check out the Ice Golem now and see how he does as a viable healer now. So we're going to use pretty much the same team. We're going to go with Lydia here. We don't really care about poisons on your Rogrim. However, let's go to recently used so I can find everybody. Perfect. Okay, this is another huge benefit, like I mentioned before, 24% speed in dungeons. Let's see how he does with the defense down, all of this good stuff. What else can we do? You know what, let's just, for the meme of it, throw in 2 war chiefs as well. So I'm not expecting this guy to one-shot any waves. I do just want to kind of highlight the turn meter gain he's going to get. Now he's not in Savage gear, so that's a pretty big deal as it is. We just have our endless provoking war chiefs doing God's work for sure. Okay, let's go ahead and use this AoE. And for some reason, he's faster than Lydia. I'm assuming she has no gear on. But look at this. His turn meter's already full again because he get 100%. So this increases his value a ton. And now it's not even a big deal that Lydia went second. Granted, we don't have the AoE, but we can still control the wave very easily with a damage dealer type champion. So we did that. Now let's go ahead, steal the turn meter. Bam, look at that. He's going to get another turn again. So as you can kind of already see from what I'm explaining here, there's a lot of potential with this champion for anyone progressing. For endgame, probably not so much. He can definitely help you in Doom Tower stages where they're just one-shotting your team too quickly. This guy can kind of even out the odds here, getting so many turns, stealing turn meter, giving himself turn meter. If you wanted to put him in a stun set, that would be a viable option as well, since he's going to be cycling through and using that AoE over and over again. So let's go ahead, turn meter boost again. We're going to end up having a 3-turn provoke on all of these champions. I'm sure you guys are aware War Chief also recently got buffed, and he has a 2-turn cooldown once he's fully booked on a 3-duration turn provoke buff. So if that's not busted, I don't know what is. If you guys want to see a video on the new and improved War Chief, I can do that if you would like. He's a problem. I mean, just look at this really quick. 3-turn here, 2-turn here, 2-turn provoke here. I can't really see, only 1 turn in the back there. Yes, I'm using 2 war chiefs, but even if you just have 1, now 4 of the 5 champions on this team have 2 or 3 turn provokes, and we have 1 other provoke coming off of cooldown. If you're not sure about this, this is a 100% chance to provoke for 3 turns, as well as stealing 2 random buffs. So this is the ultimate CC team here with no AoE CC. It's just crazy how stuff like that works. So the overall point of this is what I'm explaining here. How, yes, he doesn't do insane damage, but the value Grohak has and can bring to many people's teams after this pretty good buff, in my opinion, is pretty crazy. Once again, just to show how much overkill 2 war chiefs are, this cooldown's up and everyone's on a 2 or 3 turn provoke, so they're not getting to use any of their skills besides the A1 anytime soon for sure. Alright, so that's going to be the basic rundown of where I stand with Grohak, showing him in a dungeon really quick. Of course, we could have let that go on, see what it was like against boss encounters. It looks like, okay, War Chief wasn't wearing all of the gear he should have been wearing, so that's fine. But give me your guys' feedback. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be a viable champion for many of you to use in the arena. Arena is pretty much just a metal farming fest at the moment and doesn't require an insane amount of damage to one-shot your enemies because a lot of teams aren't properly built. Everyone's kind of bunched together in Gold 4. As far as Platinum goes, it's going to be really hard to make this guy work. However, if you're fighting casual teams who have a couple of reaction pieces here or there, this guy is a really good counter to reaction. You use this A3 here against their damage dealing champion if you want to, because honestly, no one should be running reaction on their damage dealing champions. It makes no sense, but it's still possible, so this could have a negative effect. However, this gives us time for all of their turn meter boosters, CCers, whatever they want on defense to get a turn. Then Grohak goes again, uses this A2 in the second turn, fills his turn meter by 80%, and by that time he'll be using his A1 a couple times, back to the A2, and finally A3 again. So I do think he offers quite a lot in the arena for most teams. And as we saw for dungeon progression, if you have this guy, he wasn't very appealing before. Now he should be quite appealing if you're progressing through Doom Tower, campaign, whatever content you see fit, even dungeons like I just showed you. He's going to be very good. He's going to be using his AoE quite often. He's going to be single target CCing champions, not in the sense of stunning, provoking, freezing, but keeping their turn meter low enough to let any of your other champions get their crucial turns in. Maybe they are the AoE CCers, or like I said, throw this guy in a stun set. Wouldn't be terrible. He's going to be cycling through this A2 over and over again, giving you a lot of opportunities to stun your opponents, and that decreased speed on the A1 is also not too shabby at all. Alright guys, that's going to conclude my video on Grohak the Bloodied. What do you guys think? Are you going to take him out of your vault? Are you going to keep using him? I don't really think this is a champion that's going to provide use to people if you do already have him vaulted. I could be wrong on that, so don't take that too seriously, but in my opinion, if he is vaulted already, it means you're pretty progressed in the game, or you just overlooked him if you're using only epics, if you don't have any good nukers. Ninja's a good nuker. He is blue affinity. I don't really want to compare these two champions because Ninja's kind of on his way out for being accessible to players to get him, so he's not going to be there forever. So leave me a comment, give me your feedback. What do you think of the new and improved Grohak the Bloodied? Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in my next video.